Hare Krishna. So we have studied the shlokas, texts of this chapter 5 of Canto 1, Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam for Vyasadeva. So this chapter has 40 shlokas, and shlokas 1 to 7 talks about Narada inquires and Vyasadeva responds. So Narada Muni glorifies Vyasadeva's works and inquires about his despondency in first 4 shlokas. Then Vyasadeva admits his dissatisfaction, glorifies Narada, like air, sun, super soul. He can go anywhere. Like air can go anywhere, sun can reach everywhere, and super soul is all pervading. Similarly, Narada Muni can go anywhere and everywhere, like the air, sun, and super soul. Yeah. So then from text 8 to 22, interesting, like very important shlokas here. Narada reveals to Vyasadeva the importance of describing Krishna's pastimes. That's very interesting and important section of this chapter. Just like chapter 2 of first canto was, all the verses are really relevant for preaching and our for our bhakti, for wonderful, amazing verses. This section, these verses are really our favorite verses. Narada Muni talks about 2 defects in Vyasadeva's works: insufficient glorification of Lord and overemphasis of 4 purusharthas. So Vyasadeva had 2 faults. One is 2 defects. One is he glorified Lord, glorified about Krishna, but then it was insufficient, not sufficient glorification of Krishna. So insufficient glorification of Krishna, and second one was he gave overemphasis on the 4 purusharthas. For purusharthas. Then text 10 and 11 talks about 2 categories of literature: materialistic for crow-like people and transcendental for swan-like people. Text 12 to 16 talks about bhakti is the only valuable asset, and Vyasadeva should emphasize this. Text 17 to 19 talks about progress in bhakti is credited forever, no loss even in fall down. So this section is really important. 20 to 22 talks about instruction to Vyasadeva: glorify the Lord more vividly. Glorify the Lord, Supreme Lord, Krishna Katha, direct Krishna Katha. Vyasadeva wanted to do indirect Krishna Katha, indirect way of preaching. We have motivational preaching now. So Vyasadeva wanted to do motivational preaching, but Narada Muni said, no, such motivational preaching will not work. So directly preach. Text 23 to 31 teaches us, Narada Muni narrates his past life, how his past life, he was the son of maidservant, Dasi Putra, Narada. Then 32 to 40 talks, Narad advises Vyasa what to do. Okay. So Narada Muni inquires about Vyasadev's despondency. Okay. Thus Devarshi Narad, being comfortably seated, addressed Vyasadeva smilingly, knowing the cause of Vyasadev's despondency. Yeah. So Sutta Goswami said, thus the sage among the gods, Devarshi, Devarshi Narada, sage amongst gods, demigods, comfortably seated and apparently smiling, addressed the Rishi amongst the Brahmanas. So Devarshi addressed Brahmarshi. There is a great discussion between Devarshi Narad and Viprarshi Vyasdev, Rishi amongst the Brahmanas and Rishi amongst the Devas, smilingly addressed. So gradually, step by step, they will describe it. Narada was smiling because he well knew that the great sage Vyasdeva and the cause of his disappointment. Narada Muni knew what was the cause of disappointment of Vyasdeva. So he was smiling. Now we have got the pictures here. All the pictures, amazing photographs. Okay. So addressing Vyasdeva, the son of Parashara. Vyasdeva was the son of Parashar Muni. We know the story from Mahabharata, how Satyavati, who was also happens to be also the now later on she got married to Shantanu. There's the other story. But before her marriage, she was the daughter of Vasu, Upadichara Vasu, her father's name. And like fishermen. So that was the time when Satyavati was, the fishermen, they had boat. Satyavati would like help people, the persons who are travelers, to cross the river by a boat. At that time, there has happened to be a great time, and Parashar Muni, being a great sage, he could understand that now a great personality will take birth. So then Parashar Muni and Satyavati, Parashar Muni gave birth in the womb of Satyavati to Vyasdev. But Satyavati said, I'm not married, I'm unmarried, what will happen to me? So then Parashar Muni blessed her and she became virgin again, Kumari. Then she got married to Shantanu, and then Vichitra Virya and Chitranga, they were born. And King Shantanu got attracted to her, but then her father gave the condition that my daughter's son will be the king. And then Devabrata Bhishma, who was Shantanu's elder son, who was the son of Ganga Devi. So Bhishma heard it, Devabrata heard it, and he took the vow that, okay, I will always remain brahmachari. That's how he is called Bhishma. He took that strong vow. So now he is indicating, are you satisfied by identifying the body or the mind as objects of self-realization? Are you happy? Are you satisfied, oh my dear Vyasdev? Are you happy by identifying with body or mind as objects of self-realization? So he indicated that is the reason for your dissatisfaction. That, of course, Vyasdev was a great sage and he is the incarnation of Krishna. So it's not that he identified himself with body and mind. He didn't have bodily identification. But what he wrote, Vyasdeva compiled and he wrote Puranas, there he merely talked about bodily things, about dharma, artha, kam, moksha, all these things, dharma, 4 purusharthas. Vyasdev, being the incarnation of Krishna, he was supposed to, or he should have glorified Krishna only. He should have glorified Krishna only directly. But Vyasdev, instead of glorifying Krishna, he thought that let me give dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these 4 purusharthas, and then gradually I will bring them to the platform. So that's the point. Bodily identification cannot make anyone happy. He is teaching this lesson to us. So Prabhupada says that this was the hint by Narada to Vyasdev regarding the cause of his despondency. Vyasdev, as the descendant of Parashara, a greatly powerful sage, had the privilege of having a great parentage, which should not have given Vyasdev the cause for despondency. He should not have done that. But of course, that's another purpose for the Supreme Lord, to bring Srimad Bhagavatam. If Vyasdev would not be, means he is teaching us the lesson by his own example, that if you go anything other than Krishna consciousness cannot make us happy. Anything other than Krishna consciousness will make us dissatisfied, despondency, disappointment. That's the main thing. Anything other than Krishna consciousness will lead us to dissatisfaction. Vyasdev should not have done that. Ordinary men with poor fund of knowledge could have done, okay, that's fine, can be accepted. But Vyasdev, being the incarnation of Supreme Lord, did that. That's not acceptable. Now in text 3, he talks about that what was the reason for despondency? Was it that Vyasdev was less skillful, or Vyasdev was ignorant, or Vyasdev didn't have the sufficient knowledge? No, that's not the cause. Vyasdev is dissatisfied. It's not because that he is like ignorant, not having knowledge. That's why it is. No, he is full with knowledge. Your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. And there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences, elaborately explained. So it's not that Vyasdev was ignorant, he didn't study, he was illiterate, or he was less educated. You cannot say Vyas because he is not educated, he didn't go to IIT and ITs, or he haven't studied, that's why he is dissatisfied. No, Vyasdev his inquiries were full, studies were well fulfilled. And see, he is the greatest scholar. Everything he gave. Which branch of knowledge you want? He has it. Vyasdev gave it. He divided Vedas into 4 Vedas. See, all the knowledges. Vyasdev is the guru for everything. Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, everything you see. Vyasdev is expert in that. All kind of branches of Shastra. So, still he's dissatisfied. Okay, so that shows that even if someone is having full, complete knowledge, still someone can remain dissatisfied. Even if, in spite of having all the knowledges. Now, in text 4, he says that, in text 3, it's the kind of glorification to Vyasdev. Text 3-4, that Vyasdev was filled with knowledge, his inquiries were filled, his studies were fulfilled, everything. So he's filled with knowledge. So that's one kind of glorification of Vyasdev. And other way it says that such kind of knowledge didn't help Vyasdev. Now in text 4 will say that Vyasdev not only had knowledge, but he had realization also. Jnana. Text 3 says that Vyasdev was filled with Jnana, and text 4 will say that Vyasdev is filled with Vijnana also. Anubhava, realization, experience, everything. Still he is dissatisfied. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. In spite of all this, why should you be despondent, thinking that you are undone? My dear Prabhu, addressed him Prabhu. Address him Prabhu. Iva Prabhu. Akritartha iva Prabhu. Akritartha. Like the Kritarthosmi. I am Kritartha. I am fulfilled. My life is fulfilled. And Akritartham is not fulfilled. Undone. Like undone. Iva Prabhu, my dear son. So Vyasdev was addressed as Prabhu, which was correct. Prabhu. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments here in this connection that the spiritual master Narad Muni is addressing his disciple Prabhu. So this indicates that the disciple is filled with Divya Jnana. Divya Jnana. Divya Jnana. That's why we address pure devotees as Prabhu, which is correct. Correct. Yes, okay, very good. So now, Vedanta Sutra. So in this particular Prabhupada also glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Bhagavatam? This Bhagavatam was compiled by Vyasadeva, and Bhagavatam is filled with Brahman, impersonal absolute feature. It had it. And it's what called Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra is glorifying that. And that's the ultimate philosophy. Most exalted philosophical exposition in the world, which is Vedanta Sutra. Okay. Now in text 5, Vyasadeva, he admits that yes, what you are saying is correct, and Vyasadeva admits his defects. And he admits about his despondency, he admits his dissatisfaction in text 5. All you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. For you are a man of unlimited knowledge. You are a man of unlimited knowledge. Due to your being the offspring of one who is self-born. Who is he? That Brahma, without mundane father and mother. So Narad Muni is the son of Brahma, not any mundane father and mother. That's why Vyasadeva is admitting, yeah, what you said is correct. Still, my heart is not satisfied. So Prabhupada says here that in material world, everyone is engrossed with the idea of identifying the body or the mind with the self. That's what is material world. And for that we need to, so how to understand that we are dissatisfied, what the reason for that? We need to approach great souls like Narad Muni. It is good, therefore, to approach a personality like Narada to solve the root cause of all despondencies. Why Narada should be approached is explained here. Below. Now, so in text 6 and 7, he talks, Vyasadeva glorifies Narada now. That Narada Muni's knowledge and intelligence, how they are glorious. And yeah. So my Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you. Everything that is mysterious is known to you. You, because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. My dear Lord, everything is known to you. So one who serves the Lord can know everything. That's the point. A devotee is the symbol. It symbolizes knowledge. A person who is sent person engaged in service of the Lord is the emblem of all knowledge. You see, a devotee is the emblem of all the knowledge. Such a devotee of the Lord is in full perfection of devotional service, is also perfect by the qualification of personality of Godhead. A devotee is filled with all the knowledge. Next text also he says similar thing. Like the sun, your goodness can travel everywhere in the three worlds, and like the air, you can penetrate the internal region of everyone. As such, you are as good as the all-pervasive super soul. So like sun, you can travel everywhere in three worlds. Like air, you can penetrate internal region of everyone, and like super soul, you are everywhere. Please therefore find out the deficiency in me, despite my being absorbed in the transcendence under disciplinary regulations and vows. So you are like sun, who can travel everywhere, be everywhere. You are like the air, who can penetrate everyone, and you are super soul, like in everyone's heart. So now, as you know, so you can enter my heart and you can know me. You can understand me. What was my fault? What was my problem? Please let me know. Transcendental realization, pious activities, worshipping the deities, charity, mercifulness, non-violence, and studying the scriptures under strict disciplinary regulations are always helpful. All these things are always helpful. So that's how he glorifies. That's how we see till. So not only Oyer Vyasa's inquiries about Brahman complete, but he also understood and realized that Brahman. So he has realization, Jnanam and Vijnanam both. So Vyasadeva, he inquired, you are correct. Right? So now from text 8 to 22, Narad Muni describes the importance of glorifying Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.